Tonight at 9, lightning strikes an apartment. Severe weather popping up across the DMV today. We're live with the real world impacts to your Sunday night.
That severe weather winding down, but we still have a chance for some thunderstorms as we look ahead towards your Monday. Have more details on that coming up.
Teen dies in stolen car. The tragic circumstances overnight in the district after 2 people reportedly ran from the wreckage. We've got the latest. Love at the library. One Northern Virginia couple tying the knot this weekend. Their story leading up to the I do's in the bookshelves. Saving tips to travel to knowing when the taxman might cometh and how to keep that cash. We're stretching your dollar.
You're watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Good Sunday evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us for DC News Now at 9 o'clock. I'm Ben Dennis. Chief Meteorologist Jackie Layers in for meteorologist Scott Sumner this week. And we had some spotty showers throughout the day. But as Jackie had mentioned at the top of the newscast, those are winding down every day. Yeah,
those are continuing to wind down at this point. So much of the area right now, it is dry. We are seeing some clouds, though. And we do have this front that's approaching the area. And with that front, that will continue to stall over the region, bringing us more thunderstorm chances, especially as we look ahead towards tomorrow afternoon. But out there right now, still some thunderstorms, mainly back out towards our westernmost areas at this point. I-95 DC, we are dry for now. We did have those clusters of storms right around Culpeper, and those have since fizzled right after sunset. Then we still have some storms now starting to fire up farther out towards the west, so we'll continue to monitor those. But the latest since you last saw us at the 6 p.m. newscast is the fact that the flood watch has been trimmed down a little bit and the time has changed. So DC no longer including the flood watch mainly for our northernmost areas, and that goes until 1 o'clock in the morning. So still could see the potential for some passing showers and storms that could contain some heavier downpours for our northernmost locations. But temperatures out there right now, we are slowly starting to push into those 70s for much of the area, but still holding low 80s at this 9 o'clock hour. Now, some of the weather models still want to throw us a shower or thunderstorm overnight. Then as we get towards tomorrow morning, mainly cloudy. More chances for thunderstorms are expected tomorrow afternoon and evening, and some of these could contain some heavier downpours yet again. So almost like a rinse and repeat forecast, not only tomorrow, but also for the next day. I'll have more details on that coming up.
All right, Jackie, thanks. With some of those strong storms popping up throughout the DMV, DC Fire says that lightning hit an apartment building in Northeast just this late afternoon, part of the roof damaged. Crews say it happened at the corner of 3rd Street and U in Northeast around 3 p.m. Building inspectors also got called to the scene to inspect for other damage. Thankfully, nobody was hurt. Well, lightning and brief flooding are not only some of the ways that weather has impacted folks living here at home. Our Dave Laval joins us from Reagan National Airport. Dave, weather has put a damper in travel there, a nightmare for some.
Oh, that's a major understatement, Ben, because basically we have 2 words for you. If you're looking to fly out of Reagan National this evening, good luck. Only a handful of flights are getting in and out on time. Everything else is either canceled or delayed. Displays in the terminal share the bad news. Weather in other parts of the country is to blame for the interruption in service. The flight tracking website FlightAware recorded 150 cancellations Sunday at Reagan National, along with nearly, listen to this, 400 delays. Dr. Taisha Chavis is among those whose flight will not go out tonight. She's heading to Cincinnati to see family. Her flight should have left shortly after 7 p.m. Most people would be upset by a cancellation. Not Chavis.
Before I came to the airport, I was at a spa, so I'm like really relaxed, and I refuse to let anything disrupt my day. So I'm just here, looking at booking a hotel, and my flight has been rescheduled to tomorrow morning, so I'll be back tomorrow morning, and hopefully I'll be able to, board the flight.
Dulles International had 276 delays with 21 cancellations, while Baltimore-Washington International saw 317 delays and 36 cancellations. Monday looks to be an extremely crazy makeup day for air travel around the DMV. The best advice is check with your airline before you go to the airport. We're live at Reagan National Airport. Dave Laval, DC News Now.
Hopefully people can get out, in and out of town on time at some point. Dave, thank you. A teenage boy died in a crash last night on I-295 in D.C. The car he was in reportedly stolen. Police say officers responded to 295 near Suitland Parkway just after 9 o'clock. One car was found wrecked on scene inside the teen boy. Authorities say they tried to save his life. Police say a man and another teen ran off after the crash had happened. They were arrested not long thereafter. It's unknown who was driving at the time, as are the identities of those involved. Well, in Maryland, we've learned that 3 people were stabbed in Montgomery County at Old Columbia Pike last night. Police investigating near a restaurant. Montgomery County authorities say they responded to a report of an armed robbery around 7:45 just north of the inter-county connector in the Fairland area. 3 people stabbed, sent to the hospital. Good news, expected to be okay. The unknown circumstance here, that's what the connection is to the restaurant, it may be, in the stabbing. Police added several suspects left the scene before they arrived. Also overnight, we've learned that a man was shot and killed along Indian Head Highway in Prince George's County. Detectives say they responded to the scene around 8:20 last night in Oxon Hill near the Eastover Shopping Center. No word what led up to the shooting or any suspects. Police are asking for the community's help on leads. Hard to believe it's already been 1 year since a gunman tried to assassinate then candidate, former President Trump, on the campaign trail. The bullets fired at a rally in Butler, Pennsylvania, killed a firefighter and hurt 2 other people. We were live on the air at the time of the shooting during our 6 p.m. broadcast. We brought it to you on this very program. More details came about in the hours, days, and months after the assassination attempt, including an extensive investigation. Well, just this week, 6 Secret Service agents were suspended as a result. Questions, though, still linger about the security detail that day.
Source confirms to News Nation the agents were suspended following an investigation and specifically for their actions in Butler, Pennsylvania. They include agents in supervisory roles and line level agents. At a campaign rally on July 13, 2024, 20-year-old Thomas Matthew Crooks got multiple shots off at the president. One of those bullets grazed Mr. Trump's ear. The gunman was killed by counter snipers, but 1 person in the crowd died and 2 others were injured. Congressional investigations found multiple breakdowns of communication between agencies and officers on that day, but stopped short of pinpointing a single moment or decision that nearly allowed a gunman to kill then candidate Trump. Kimberly Cheadle, the Secret Service director at the time, did step down shortly after. And then about 9 weeks later, in September of 2024, there was another attempt on Mr. Trump's life at his Florida golf course. Agents spotted Ryan Ruth allegedly carrying a rifle and were able to stop him before anything happened. He's set to go to trial this September. And on Wednesday, the president brushed off another threat on his life. An Iranian official made comments that suggested they could kill the president while he sunbathed at his Mar-a-Lago resort. In response, the president says he hasn't sunbathed since he was a child, and he's not sure it's an actual threat. Nick Smith, News Nation.
Well, thanks to Nick. Back home in Virginia, the U.S. Army has renamed a military base to honor a Black Medal of Honor recipient, but it's also restoring the base's name, which first honored Confederate General Robert E. Lee. Fort Gregg Adams was officially renamed back to Fort Lee during a ceremony this morning. The name change is part of President Trump's directive to restore the names of 7 bases that were previously renamed due to their Confederate ties. Despite the base returning to the Lee name, it's now named after Private Fitz Lee, who joined the Buffalo Soldiers in 1889 and was recognized for saving wounded soldiers during the Spanish-American War.
It gives us a starting point to be able to tell the history about the Buffalo Soldiers and actually who we are and part of our military history and why this is actually so important.
The Army says it is not forgetting the legacies, though, of Lieutenant General Arthur J. Gregg and Lieutenant Colonel Charity Adams, for whom the base was renamed 2 years ago. All right, on the move, WMATA says more than half of its reported safety issues this year have been resolved. It's according to a new report tracking transit security. Officials say hazard reports are up, but 53% of them are, quote, mitigated. WMATA credits improved safety culture and response to emergencies. Well, also in your commute in Virginia, Capital Bike Share is expanding soon to Vienna. According to FXNow.com, the town council voted to use more than $230,000 in state grants to buy bike stations, 4 of them. There's an option for a 5th one down the road. They'll be installed in the fall and can be used starting early next year. That's the plan. Well, for flyers, anyone headed out of town may see a change at airport security, including at Reagan National, where we just saw Dave Laval. And this could make going through TSA quicker. Our Marie Sissay spoke to passengers who will be able to keep their laces tied.
Well, if you've been in a rush at the airport, you know how annoying it can be when you have to stop and take off your shoes. Well, guess what? That is no longer a requirement. There's been a nationwide change, and it's in effect right here at DCA.
Whether to put on slip-ons or tie, and I wear the tie because they're more comfortable.
Joe Bradley couldn't decide what shoes to wear as he was getting ready for the airport. But now that no longer has to be a concern. After nearly 2 decades, taking off your shoes at TSA is officially a thing of the past.
I enjoy that very much because it's a pain to have to take them off and put them back on.
I think it's really great that now that's going to be an opportunity for everyone.
Back in 2006, TSA implemented the no shoe policy after a man attempted to go through security with a bomb in his shoe years prior. But with technology advancement and a pilot program that proved the agency could still keep airports safe without the extra step, the change was announced Tuesday.
We are very confident that we can continue to provide hospitality to folks and for American travelers and for those visiting our country while maintaining the same standard of security for passengers and for our homeland.
For passengers like Antoine Turan, he says the change has already made his airport experience easier.
We went through Orlando, MCO, and we had to keep our shoes on. And I'll tell you what, it was no line. We went through fairly easy, so I think it speeds up the process.
And many trust new technology.
With the scanning equipment that they have out there now, it seems like they should be able to determine what's in your pockets and your bags and that kind of thing without there being such a slowdown.
Now officials say you'll only have to take off your shoes if you require additional screening, and they also say TSA pre-check is a lot easier because you're not required to take out any liquids or your electronics. Reporting here at DCA, I'm Marie Sissay, DC News Now.
All right, and if you are headed to the airport and yearning and burning to get to the tropics, you can for a little less. Spirit Airlines now offering service to Montego Bay, Jamaica. We checked a little while earlier, saw a flight as low as $76, leaving next month. Coming up, there's still time to get some well-needed R&R these summer months. Ways to save, moments ahead. Live look over the district tonight. Illuminated this Sunday evening. Stick around. Jackie's coming back with your forecast. Much more local news ahead.